How's everybody doing? Making sure the audio is working. Because I stopped using the headphones. Because I thought I had to use the headphones for the way I was doing it. But maybe I don't. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway. Okay, yeah, it works. The last time we left off, the Cubs hopefully are going to even, if they win today, they will even the 4-game series against the Padres. And I'm cautiously optimistic because Jose Quintana has been so good this year and Dinelson Lamet has been so bad this year in the fantasy world. I like Dinelson. I like Dinelson Lamet's ceiling more than Jose Quintana's ceiling, personally. I think Jose Quintana. I was a huge fan of Jose Quintana. I still like them. Like I said, they were one of the people I kept on my fantasy team. Not necessarily because I thought that. Not necessarily because I thought they... Or I do think they're going to be really good, but I had no idea how anyone else valued them. So I was very confused about how to... deciding how to go about where to draft them. So I just said to hell with it, and I made them a last-round keeper. I hope it works out. It might have me sub someone for Bryant here. Maybe Rizzo, too, but we'll see, I guess. Chris Bryant. So, oops. We'll have Ian Happ take over the third base for Bryant, and then we'll let Jason we'll put Jason Kipnis at second, Happ at third. But I guess we'll put Schwarber as the leadoff man. Actually, we'll have Rizzo lead off, Schwarber second, Happ third. Oh, or you know what? Gosh. There, we'll put the hot play. I mean, it says they're hot. I hate to just be like, they're hot, they're good hit. I do feel weird about going left. But, to hell with it. Here we go. You were. Man, these songs, and I know I can probably import my own music into the show. But these songs get, and then also, I don't know if it would. I don't know. There's about 12 songs in this game, and so now I just know all of them. Yet I don't know who they're by. I don't know any of the band's names. I don't know. I'm sure it says sometimes in lower hand corners, but I don't know the name of the songs. I don't know band names. So Dinelson Lamet, at least he. See, look, the strikeouts are there. The walks apparently are there. Not horrible, but not great. And then his whip is real high. He is 1-7, so I would be interested to see his. Although if he's 1-7, he hasn't had that. Obviously, hasn't had any one start that's
number 44. Anthony.
Because, like I said, sometimes it's interesting that a starter will have one or two just really bad games that will make their whole, oh shit, no. Well, I'm going to have to let the pitch go by. Whether it be a strike or whether it be a ball. Ooh. I feel like video game, Anthony Rizzo might have knocked it out of the park. I feel bad.
111.
That was right there. Let's see what video game Bryant does with Rizzo. Oof. I make him not swing at a strike, and then he swings at a ball. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, ground ball. Like I said, Lamette's strikeouts have always been high. And the last...
1 ball.
He had about his last 5 to 10 starts in the season last year because he was out most of the first half of the season. Came back a little over a little past the halfway point. But he had some really good games where he was striking down double-digit hitters. He had one game where I think he had a no-hitter going in the 6th or 7th inning. They had to take him out. I think he eventually gave up a hit, but also I think he had a bunch of pitches good. I think he maybe struck out like 14 people. In fact, let's take a look. So yeah, on it's August 7th? So August 7th of last year, oh, that's a drive. It looks deep. Oh, off the wall. Anthony Rizzo's speed is the lowest I've seen it. He's usually around 21. He's 18. I wonder if that's because of their energy. If that probably affects it. That makes sense. Oh, the Padres don't have a no-hitter either. So, 7 scoreless innings. So I think he took a no-hit in the 7th when he must have given up. He had 12 strikeouts, threw 104 pitches. So then he had 4 walks, retired 13 in a row, and made Seattle scared to possibly become the first team in MLB history to be no-hit 3 times in a season. I forgot that, or I wouldn't have guessed per se that Seattle got no-hit twice last season. I didn't know that. If you asked me to guess. So if you said that there was a team that got no-hit 2 times last season, I'd probably say, yeah, that'd be one of the first ones I'd guess. I'm trying to think of who else was pretty bad. Maybe we would have said Marlins. Marlins might have been my first guess. Mariners probably wouldn't have been that far. Who knows? But yeah, I think he's going to be really good. I'm excited to see what he's going to do here. So Schwarber's 2-2 on Lamet. After that, almost donger from Rizzo. Keeps it going. And that's a pop-up. Probably not far enough to advance the runner. And it is.
Batting third, the right fielder, Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward up. He's on fire, so say at the roster card when you fill it out today. And 248.
Oh, that's low.
So Rizzo on second base, 1 out. The Mets got to throw his 16th pitch of the inning.
Nope, that's down.
I've said it a bunch about San Diego, is that you want to jump on their starting pitching. Because they've got a couple of really good bullpen guys, but I think it kind of fades after. Although Munoz, he's going to be out in real life for Tommy John surgery. But Kirby Yates is one of the best closers in the game. And then Drew Pomerantz has been really good as a reliever. He was the starting pitcher for a long time, or for most of his career, and then they sent him to the Padres and kind of made him like a long relief, like a high leverage middle relief guy that pitches 2 or 3 innings when they like really need someone to pitch 2 or 3 innings. And he's always had a good K rate, and I think he's set up better as that sort of guy. Is to just I feel like relief pitchers more give it all at once. because they know that they know that they don't have to be there for more than 20 pitches usually. Or 20, 30 pitches for relief pitchers a lot. So they just throw as hard as they can.
That's out.
Wilson Contreras up batting .311, the transistor of averages, the amber of the color of the energy of averages.
It's back ball.
I'm sorry. I think 311 jokes not even funny. Yeah, what's more annoying is the fact that I made a joke about the band 311 or that it wasn't. 2-1 to Wilson Contreras.
Ball, that's in.
Oh, will it get through? I think it might. It's a throw. Ah, he just gets him by a step. Whew. Nice play by Jurickson Profar, who I think would actually be at second base. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to play there. And I think even though Manny Machado is at third, I think it was largely because to give way for Fernando Tatis Jr. I could be wrong, but I feel like when they signed Machado, because that's the weird thing about Machado is when he was like with the Orioles, he's like, I'm a shortstop, I want to play me at shortstop, and they're like, okay. And then when he went to the Dodgers, I'm not sure if he played third or went to shortstop for the Dodgers.
Way to go for the Padres.
I think Turner was playing third a lot, probably. Third and first. I don't know.
Nope.
But it's weird because he's like a Gold Glove third baseman. Machado is he's got a good arm, and at shortstop he's mediocre at best. He might even be below average. So it's one of those things where it's like, what do you do? Maybe he realized that. Maybe it was easy for him. I'm interested to know if he was like, I'll play third base, but you got to bring up that prospect because they did bring up Fernando Tatis Jr. last year. Not necessarily earlier than they would have, but I don't know. If Machado did something like that, where he was like, I want you to bring up the prospect. Like, if I'm going to come to this team who's been a loser-ish, I want you to bring up your best players. Because they did. They had. They've been good. Like I said, they got... which, and it would make sense to be in quote-unquote win-now mode because they're paying $300 million to Machado right now. So you figured, why not bring up your guys that aren't getting paid very much right now, even if it starts their service clock. And then down the road, you can maybe trade Machado. Although I think if you trade Machado, if down the road, Machado's numbers away from Camden Yards aren't good. He didn't have an amazing, the last half of the season was way better, I think, but let's see what his numbers were last year. I'm guessing he hit 32 home runs for a 260 average. He was an okay third baseman. Oh, he literally hit 32 home runs. How close was on average? I'm going to say 262. 276, so that's better than I thought it was. But his OBP was only 324. Oh no, this is simulated. Sorry. This was simulated for this year. In 2019,
I got to count 1 and 2.
Yeah, he did hit 32. With a 256 batting average, so I was actually a little high. I was giving him more credit. And his OBP was 334. So that's not with 5 steals.
No.
He did have 661 total appearances. 587 at bats. So at least he was there for a lot. He also grounded into the most double plays of anybody
We got full count.
that year. Yes. He led the league in grounding into double plays. He is still 26. Jesus, really? I can't believe he's only 26 right now. That being said, like I said, to pay someone $30 million to hit 256 with 32, like, a lot of people hit 32 home runs last year.
Batting third.
Last year had a lot of people hit a lot of home runs. Granted, he's in the NL, or well, the Padres home stadium is not conducive for home run hitters. But I think his away numbers have, like I said, anywhere that wasn't Camden Yards, he wasn't doing amazing. I'm interested to know, like I said, when he was with the Dodgers in 2018, I'm interested to know where he was playing most of the time.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Maybe it was shortstop. Shouldn't be yawning. It's like I haven't even been up very. Oh shit! Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham's good. I've had Tommy Pham on my fantasy. I think as much as I don't like having St. Louis Cardinals on my team, I have Tommy Pham on my team. He's still getting overlooked. I think he's a solid late round person to fill out your outfield. He's let's see what his. I think he's getting older, but he went 2020 last year, I think. And he just hit a fucking donger against the Cubs here. Let's see here. Yeah, he went 21 home runs with 25 stolen base leads last year.
Batting fourth.
And hits
The third baseman.
273 with a 369 OBP. That's really good. Yeah, his on-base percentage has always been really good, but pretty good too. His lifetime on-base percentage is 373. So, yeah, that's really good for someone to be like a late round. I don't know where this year. Let's see. I'll look at my draft and see where I'm at. I have a keeper league where we keep 7 people, and the spot they take in the draft is the spot they take in the draft is wherever they were taken the year before. If you keep them.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, someone kept him this year. That's a little bit of a surprise. I'm a little bit surprised there.
Nope. Ball four.
But I'm sure people were surprised that I kept Dinelson Lamet
The shortstop. Jarek
and didn't keep Jose Barrios. But Dinelson Lamet was the last round keeper. Jose Barrios was like 3rd round. Although the year before, I didn't keep Jose Barrios as a last round, which is weird that I would get him so early in the draft, but not. Didn't I just keep him as a keeper? I don't know. I was dumb. But yeah, it's a little interesting.
Hey! Nope. Outside.
Well, Quintana, so far, it's still the first inning. He's two outs to Profar, who had a pretty good defensive play to end the inning where it stopped the run from scoring.
So that's down.
2-1, and Quintana's already thrown 23 pitches in the first inning. That's not great. That's a little more than one would enjoy and like to have happen. Ooh, it's a pop-up. Anthony Rizzo got it. My hair's weird. I need to get a hair. I'm not one of those people who's like, I open up the economy so I can get my hair cut. But my hair is definitely wanting a haircut. I don't need a haircut, but I I don't need a haircut, but I need a haircut. I want one. This needs to get figured out. I might see if any of my friends that do it are like, do it low key, like if they're like, will take one or two, because I don't want like people that are doing mass amounts of haircuts. So that's too much. Because if any of my friends, I have one or two friends that cut hair, then I might see if they'll cut my hair.
Batting fifth is the third baseman, number 8, Ian Happ.
Ian Happ's up. I think he's been doing pretty well lately. He almost didn't get a start. I think I've been putting Almora in center field. I'm more comfortable with Almora defensively, how it looks in center field. But Happ and also Almora's average is actually better. Happ's been hitting lately though, but his average is still only 210. But I think lately he's been kind of a little more alive, and he should, because his stats in this game, like his literal stats in this game is like an 80 something in power against right-handed hitters. Right, fucking great. So
the center fielder, number 5.
It's reasonable to think that he will start hitting home runs against right-handed pitchers.
Count 1-0.
One pitch to Albert Almora Jr. Strike 2. Dinelson's starting to look better this inning, to say the least.
Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
He makes okay contact, but it's an out. And the Padres get out of that inning quick. Now Dozier, Naylor, and Mejia coming up for the Padres against the Cubs. Yeah, somehow that inning lasted so long for when the Padres were batting last inning, yet they only got one hit. But they got a run, yet only one hit. And it was a donger. It was a home run. So I'm just looking at the keepers in the league. Some of them I find very interesting. There's a couple of keepers that I find really, huh.
That's the ball. They're down 1-1.
Like I said, I had a couple of keepers that were questionable. I kept someone who hasn't even played a game in Major League Baseball. I kept Luis Robert. Like I said, hasn't even played a game yet. I just am hoping he will be the star that they claim he will eventually be.
1-0.
I like my team. I mean, you should like your team. Presumably, you like your team before you play any games, because you're going off of what you think they're going to play like, not like how they're actually going to play. I'm sure I'll be happy with a couple of my picks, and I'm sure I'll be mad at myself for a couple of picks. We'll see what is what there. I took a lot of. Well, I guess in the later rounds they are going to be lottery tickets, but I took people who I thought had really high ceilings.
The catcher,
Basically.
Francisco Mejia.
Francisco Mejia's up after the cricket's 2 outs. Much cooler than last. That looked like a strike, but it was called a ball. Sure, fine. Whatever, I guess. I hurt my knee. Like, my knee feels like it's bruised, but I don't know what I did do. I don't know what hit. But my knee should hurt. I don't know. 2-1 to Francisco Mejia. The pitcher's spot is on deck, so and Mejia has a lot of power. He actually is someone. I'm surprised he's not on my fantasy baseball team right now, especially with the DH, because he might start getting more playing time as a DH. But he's got some, could be a pretty good power here. I did pick up Wilson Contreras really too early in my draft. I really wanted to make sure to get one of the top catchers, because it's the thinnest position. Kind of, there's like 2 or 3 really good catchers, and then it kind of falls off after that. That being said, and the year before I totally punted on catchers, where I just took Williams Astudillo. I love Williams Astudillo. I hope he gets to play, especially with the. I mean, they already had the DH, but they have an extra roster spot now.
Jason.
I was hoping that he doesn't strike out and he doesn't walk. He's an anomaly. I love anomalies in the game. Jason Kipnis is up with this time with the pitcher spot on deck for the Cubs. So we'll see what happens here. Ooh, strike on the outside corner. The 0-1 to Jason Kipnis. Oh, rips it, but he's early on it, and it goes way foul. Way foul.
Nope. Ball
Low.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Low. Inside. All right, he's working the count. That's good to do with, all this business going on. 2-2. You want to get him throwing pitches. If you're not going to be able to get hits, at least get him to throw pitches so you can get him out of the game. 3-2 pitch to Kipnis. Okay, nicely done, Kipnis. I feel bad I haven't been starting Horner.
Batting ninth.
I feel like
the pitcher, number 62, Jose Quintana.
I feel that I should start him more or send him back down. Like in real life, I would be like, I need to start him more, or I need to send him down to AAA. Because he just skipped AAA altogether. So, I don't know. And I'm not sure when I need to. That really a thing I need to look up is where David Bodie's at. So Quintana's probably going to bunt over Kipnis. That's kind of the default here, both in the game and in the game. You might say, why don't they let the pitcher hit? And sometimes they actually do. Some teams do. I think the Cubs actually more often than most teams will in this position would let the pitcher hit. But the reaction to that is, but what if they turn 2? Like, what if you let him hit and he hits into a double play? Like, then you look like an idiot because you let your pitcher hit and he got 2 outs instead of 1. But So Rizzo, I think he's the only hit of the day so far. If he can hit another double, that'd be nice. 'Cause that would most likely score. I mean, it would advance Kipnis to at least third, if not score the run. Because both runners could not occupy second at the same time. If you have two runners that are on the same base, you can't do that. The lead runner is safe. The back runner is out. If you've ever seen the film Little Big League, that is one of the opening sequences has three guys all on third. If somebody hits it really well, and then I can't remember what happens, but it just basically like somebody not paying attention. The middle runner is like not paying attention and just like is standing on third. And the lead runner like thinks they're gonna get thrown out at home, so they go back to third. And then the guy who hit it was like, "Oh, this is gonna score everybody." So it ends with like the two runners sliding back into third, and then the guy just standing on third, and they're just like, "What do we do here?" And the coaches argue where it's like, "They're all on third. Let's start the game here." And he's like, "They're all safe." And the other coach is like, "No, they're all out." And then the umpire, who might even be Jeff Garland. Now I'm interested to look here. Because I know Jeff Garland's in it, I think. And he's either a coach or the umpire. But he's like, the umpire's like, Billy? And Billy's like, well, this happened and he just knows everything about. That's going to be two probably. That's a tough one. But Lamet's thrown 52 pitches through 3 innings, which is a lot, which means by the 6th-ish, he'll be out of the game. I should have assumed it. I'll need to look at this at the IMDb because it's such a minor character for Jeff Garland. I don't even know why they put the wiki instead of IMDb because it's like at the very beginning of the movie. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff Garland plays opposing Little League. Yeah, so he's not even the umpire. He's the manager of one of the teams. And Jeff Garland loves baseball, so it makes sense. I'm surprised he didn't get it. I'm not sure if he's in Rookie of the Year, but he is a Cubs fan. If you ever watch, it's really funny whenever he gets to be in the booth for the Cubs stuff, because he's like, and he might just be having a good time, but he seems pretty drunk, and it's pretty awesome. And he last time was just talking shit. The last time I saw it, at least, he was just like saying bad things about A-Rod and Len and Bob. Or not Bob. Why can't I ever think?
The center fielder, number 7, Juan Torres.
It blows my mind that I'm having trouble thinking.
Now batting, the right fielder.
Len and Jim Deshays. I was thinking of Bob Grundy. He hasn't been there for a while. Jim Deshays. And I like Jim Deshays more. But you could just tell that Len and Jim are just like not commenting on anything that Jeff Garland is saying about A-Rod being a douchebag. But also they don't disagree with him, but they just know that that they can't say things like that. Like if they'd say things like that, they'd get in trouble. But when it's a drunk celebrity who's commenting and just doing an inning with them, they can do whatever. It's fun. So Quintana gets through that one. Nelson Lamet so far has chosen apparently this game against the Cubs of all games to prove to me that he might be a good pitcher. Although his pitch count is getting a little high, he's not being extremely efficient, but that was largely because of the first inning. Jason Hayward pops up just when I'm talking about pitch efficiency. That happens. Yowza. Yowza.
Wilson Contreras.
Here comes Wilson Contreras. The sod poodles and the chihuahuas. So the Padres minor league affiliates, one of them is called the Sod Poodles, which is pretty cool. I like that.
Count 1-0.
Wilson Contreras 1-0 for the day, batting .309. His average just keeps sinking and sinking and sinking and sinking. As hot as he was the first month, the last couple weeks he's really cooled down. The last game, 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Maybe I'll give him a couple days off. Maybe if we reboot his energy there, maybe I'll let Caratini start a couple games. I've wanted to try and get Caratini a little bit more playing. I mean, his average has been terrible. Caratini's maybe batting below 200. But he never gets I don't even know if he started 2 games in a row. Maybe a couple games in a row. Ooh, down the line and fair. That's going to be a double. All it takes for a player to do well is for me to talk about them not doing well. Apparently.
Now batting, the shortstop, Javier Baez.
Nope. Outside. Now that's more.
Ooh, strike. 2-1 to Javier Baez. So Lamet is 62 pitches in the 4th inning with 1 out. Hopefully there won't be a double play here since there's a runner on second. You can still have double plays turned, but it's a little less likely. Oof, nice.
The third baseman, number 8, Ian Happ.
Ball, that's inside. Ball, that's out.
Strike 1. But a good take probably with 3-0. Although, like I said, Hap's a power hitter. He's supposed to have power. Part of his big appeal is that he's supposed to be this all-around guy that's like supposed to have some pop, supposed to have some speed, supposed to be, he's able to play multiple positions. So he's supposed to be like a 25 home run, 15 steal guy who can play in the outfield, anywhere in the outfield, and second, third. All right, good take. That's good. Like I said, I'm totally okay with
the center fielder, number 5,
getting
Almora.
Oh, that's low.
Ooh, will it drop? It drops. Are they going to send him? No. It was the right decision, for sure. That being said, your pitcher's up now.
Jason Kipnis.
Oh no, Jason Kipnis is up. Sorry, my fault. I thought that was Jason Kipnis. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. That was Almora. Good. That's great. Good call not to send him because they can't. If they were to intentionally walk Jason Kipnis, it would be score a run. So good. Oof. 1-1. Ooh, good hold back on that high heat. Oh, swings it probably would have been ball 3. Couldn't hold back on that high one. Oh, Jesus. Well, all I had to do is touch home. He did. I don't know why he was thrown first. All I had to do is touch home there. Well, poop. Speaking of poop, I have to go pee. I'll be back.
Leading off for the Padres, the left fielder, Tommy.
All right. Oh, out number 1. That's done. Fly ball. Fly ball. Manny Machado's up. He had a walk in the first inning.
Ball 1. 1-1. Ball in. Down to 3-1.
Manny Machado 3-1. He did walk earlier.
Nope,
and he
that's
walks
down.
again.
The batter, number 10, shortstop, Erickson. Close ball.
Jurickson Profar.
0-1.
He's a guy who, and I've said this before, he has been a big prospect for so long, but you can't really call him a prospect anymore because he's just been in the and he's still like 26, I think. So, and he still hit 20 some home runs, even though he's 27. So maybe in the next year or two, he'll hold on. Let's see if he got picked up. So yeah, in mine, he didn't even get drafted in my league. I'm interested to see if he's in what positions he's at.
Inside, ball 1.
Because that was the other thing, is that he's been available at different positions. But yeah, he's currently with the Padres now. That's gonna be in the gap. Barely lands, but it only advances, thankfully, only advances the runners.
The batter, number 9,
Quit fucking.
second baseman,
Sorry.
Jones.
Oh boy, what happened? What happened? Okay, ball. I'm trying to get my computer to trying to look up in my fantasy baseball league something. And it's just not letting me do things. Okay, fine. Fucking ESPN fantasy baseball fucking sucks. We've always done my league in the ESPN one. I like the Yahoo one better. The one thing that I think Yahoo that I kind of like and dislike. I think Yahoo and ESPN both missed the mark on this. Is that eligibility at spots? I think in Yahoo, like you barely have to have anyone play in a position before they become eligible in a position. It only might be like 5 times. In ESPN, if you get 10 times at a position, you gain eligibility. If you have to have 20 times at a position that year to maintain it for the next year. I think that's a little stupid. I think if you gain eligibility somewhere, you should keep it. And 10 games is about enough, I think. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening. Let's look up players. I guess I can. Maybe I won't search.
No, ball 4.
But there's some good players on my bench. I wish I had more spots on my bench. If I would have known, there's people. I would have drafted differently if I would have known that the people would be available that are available, like off the waiver wire right now. Oh boy! So bases loaded, because I haven't been paying attention as much attention as I should be. And now Quintana's starting to throw too many pitches too. He's 64 pitches in before. Bases loaded, 1 out. Strike 2. That's good. Josh Naylor is up. He's got some power too, I think. A ground ball at somebody would be really good here. Ooh, strike 3 gets him to strike out on a low ball.
Now batting, catcher, Francisco Mejia.
But Francisco Mejia's up, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find an 8-hole batter with as much potential power as he has. Yeah, his OPS is over 800 this year. So, and he's got in his 4 for talent series. I think you'd be hard pressed to find in the league if your 8 batter has an over 800 OPS. Your team's probably pretty good, or you're not putting your order correctly together, because they should maybe be batting in a different order spot if they have an over 800 OPS. Although OPS is one I still don't understand as well. I know it's on base plus slugging, But I feel like anything over 8 is decent. 9 is getting pretty good, and if it's over 1, it's really good. Oof. Like, I'm guessing less than 10 people probably had oh shit. Well, that's 1 run, probably 2. Yep, 2. The lead extends.
Now back, the pitcher, Nelson.
Wow. Barry Bonds OPS a couple times. Crazy. So, we'll look at the OPS is the highest one last year. Mike Trout had a 1.083 OPS. And Yelich had a 1.1. Okay, so they don't. There we go.
1 ball, 1 strike.
So only 6 people had above a 1. But comparatively, what was it, 823 or something like that was the OPS of Francisco.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Francisco Lindor had an 853 OPS. And he's pretty good, don't you think? Yeah, so like I said, that's decent. Oh my god. He barely got that one. Well, the Cubs have their work cut out for them now. They're down by 3. With the pitcher spot up, I don't know if they're gonna pinch hit for Quintana here. He's getting up there in pitches now. He's giving up 3 runs. Might be the time to have Riz or Bryant or someone pinch hit. We'll see.
Leading off for the Cubs, the pitcher, number 62, Jose Quintana.
Well, they are going to bat with Quintana, which is, if they don't fucking let him, if he pitches okay in the next inning and they still take him out, then I'm fucking him against with this.
Nope, that's inside.
He's 70-some pitches in. You've got Bryant on the bench. Unless you're really just waiting for maybe a spot where they have him on base, but like, oh, that looked low to me. Yeah, I'd say it's questionable to not pinch hit here. Although I mean I get it. It's only the 5th inning, sure. And you're only down, but you're only down 3-0. But also you're only down 3-0. You could. Oh my god. Well, hopefully they let Quintana pitch at least the next inning, and if not 2 more, if they aren't going to pitch it for him there. Yeah. So Rizzo had a double and a. This is 1 for 1, but I feel like he had a fielder's. He grounded out into a fielder's choice. I can't remember if that counts as any. I don't know. He had a walk last time. I always forget what counts as what. 0-1. All right, that's a deep drive. It gone. Donger alert. Wee, wee, wee. Anthony Rizzo. Home run. Nicely done, sir. That's what that is, sir. Nick the Gamer X want to become famous? Buy followers, primers, and viewers on ad viewers. Well, hey, Nick the Gamer Triple X.
Now back.
You can just give me a follow if you want to. Nick the Gamer Triple X.
Ball, that's out.
Oh, anyway. Kyle Schwarbs is up now against Nelson Lamette. It'd be nice to have some back-to-back homers here.
That's ball 2.
Lamette is 80-some pitches in. Like I said, like you saw, the bullpen is warming up for the Padres.
Ball.
3-0 to Schwarber. I'm sure he probably has the green light. But we'll see here. Wow, I can't. I really did put a lot of stock into the who's hot thing because I put Hayward as the third guy.
Oh.
Ironically, I think Rizzo was the snowflake for this, which means he's not doing great. Whereas Schwarber and Hayward both had, and Rizzo hit a double and a home run, but Hayward and Schwarber got hot.
Ball 1, no strike.
So we'll see here what they decide. Like the Nelson's on kind of that borderline. I'm guessing if his spot comes up in the order next time
Ball 2.
through, that they would pinch hit. Otherwise, it's a little
No
questionable
strike.
depending on. Oh, we'll see what happens here.
Ball.
3-0 once again. Perhaps he'll let this one go and see if he can get a walk too. Or he'll hit a home run. He was listening to this high. Once again, every time I talk about players not hitting. 421 feet. Donger alert for old Jays and Hayward. Woo! 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 It's a blue light. It just looks overexposed, I realize. Or it doesn't necessarily come off as blue in the regular. I spin it in different ways. Or I start rotating it one way and then rotate it the other because I don't want the cord to get too tangled up. Well, I'm guessing they're going to take, and then the directed distance was 1 foot shorter. I don't understand why they do that a lot in this. Where the game will say it went a thing, and then when it shows the other, like, how's the game disagreeing with its own estimates? I don't understand. But Nelson Lamette comes out of the game.
Your attention, please.
Pitched
Now,
pretty
pitching
well,
for the
aside from giving up a couple
Number
doubles,
40.
couple home runs.
Cow.
I mean, that doesn't make it sound very good, but he's got the lead. And is this the 5th or the 6th inning? Sorry, I should know. Cal Contral. So, yeah, Dinelson Lamette, his record will at best remain 1-7 because he did not pitch. He pitched 4 2/3, which makes him 1 out shy of being able to qualify for the win even. So that's got to make him a little upset, as he already is not doing great in the wins department. Oof. Theoretically, he could be hooked with the loss, though, if the Cubs score 2 runs here with 2 outs. If they score 2 more runs with 2 outs here. Down the line, but gonna drop foul. Strike 3, that's a good pitch from that Well, Lagares, Myers, Bam. I believe that's the 1, 2, 3 of the order for the Padres.
Leading up for the Padres.
So Alec Mills and Ryan Tepper are in the bullpen, but Quintana is left in to pitch for at least the beginning of the pitch. Like I said, since they didn't pinch hit for him, you would think they'd let him at least go against a few batters, because otherwise, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. Ooh, a little pop-up. That's exactly what the kind of thing we need. We get a couple 2-pitch at-bats that results in outs. And that's really what Quintana wants and needs, and could help him perhaps even get the pitch into the sixth if he can do that. But this is, I believe, at least his third time probably through the order. And that's when numbers start to get worse for pitchers. Not to say only, but the hook for pitchers gets a lot, the leash gets a lot shorter, I should say, once they go the third time through the order. Numbers start to tell you that the hitters start to figure out the pitchers, the starting pitchers, a lot better once the third part of the order, third time through, starts happening. Ooh, that is unfortunate that that's going to be a double, because that looked like, to me, it looked like a really good pitch. Will Myers got some speed, 68 speed. Villat, nah, but no, it's, but yeah, I thought that was a really good pitch, but Will Myers apparently knew it was coming, or just held back on it and gave it a pretty good run. So Tommy Pham had 1 for 2. He had that solo home run earlier. Batting .310 with .384 on base percentage. Pretty good numbers. I think pretty much anyone would take those numbers over their own. Well, not anyone. 90% of baseball players. Whoa! Quintana might be a little skittish with first base being open with one out. The fact that you could have the double play set up. That being said, if you get Pham out, you go to the cleanup hitter, who's probably Machado or Hosmer, I would guess. Ooh, that pitch looked good, but apparently myself and the umpire have different ideas of what is a strike. Or, I mean, I guess it could go either way. I was borderline. Sure, fine. That's a strike. 2-1 now to Tommy Pham.
Oh, that's in.
Fuck! Well, Tommy Pham once again gets a hit that scores a run. This time it's not himself, but it's still a run. It's an RBI double. So now it's 2-4. And Manny Machado's up. I would not be surprised if they took Quintana out here in a second. Which, like I said, why didn't you pinch? I mean, they still scored 2 runs last inning. I don't know. I think you maybe should pinch hit for him before. It's just me, especially if they're going to bring in like Jarrell or I don't know who they're going to bring in.
Your attention, please.
They're going to bring in Jarrell, who's been great. He's been fantastic. But his spot in the order might come up. Wait, 6, 3, 4, 5. Okay, gotcha. If it does, it would be a good problem to have if his spot comes up. But if it doesn't come up next inning, it'll come up. Like he's probably not going to pitch more than 2 innings, I guess. All right. Oh no, not all right. I thought it looked like it was going to be okay. It is pop up. Thank God. So at the wall, like that kept getting that originally off the bat. I thought that was going to be a routine fly ball, and then the crowd started standing up, and Kyle Schwarber kept running back further and further, farther and farther and farther. Farther is distance, further is not in the distance.
0-1. Ball, that's out.
So 1-1 to Jurickson and Profar.
2-1.
Two now. To get out of the inning here with minimal damage would be nice. Oh, that's back, but once again, just under the warning track, thankfully. Well, Tommy Pham getting it done. The Padres got a good player when they got Pham. I'm not even sure who they sent. I do know. Margot. They sent Manuel Margot, and then I can't remember who else to the Tampa Bay Rays. Javier Baez 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts. Those were both against Lamet. New pitcher, restart. Oh, and he has trouble picking it up, and probably, I don't know if they're going to call it an error base hit. They are going to call it an error.
The third base.
I think that could have went either way there. That was, he had to do a little bit of leaning. Well, Ian Happ's up. I keep talking about how he's supposed to have power against right-handed pitchers, so here we go, Mr. 208. What you gonna do, Mr. 208 batting average? Can you hit a home run?
No, he's in.
Baez does like to steal. I don't know if he's just given the green light. It'll be interesting to see how David Ross manages the team. If he will, how strict he will be on aspects of the Cubs didn't run. The Cubs probably ranked in close to last year in stolen bases, if not last. Is what I would guess.
Oh,
2-0. Good eye so far. With, I believe, Amora on deck. Oof. Swings at one. 2-1. It's Ian Happ. Ooh. Swung at what might have looked, it would have been close, but it looked like it might have been ball foul. So 2 quick strikes after 2 quick balls, so 2-2. Strike 3. Well, shit, Ian.
Almora.
I want David Bodie back. Bodie was doing great until he got hurt. Albert Almora Jr.'s up. Let's see if he can. I think he had a single, kind of a bloop single earlier. Look at those numbers. He's starting to do real respectable. 355 on base percentage, 280 average. I'm really proud of. He'll probably like down to a point out. But I'm proud of where he's brought himself over the last 2 or 3 weeks, because his numbers to start the year were real bad. Yeah. But he's good defensively in center field. I like having him in center with Hayward right and Schwarber in left. Because Schwarber's kind of average, but he's got a decent arm. And Almora's got good range and a decent arm too. And yeah, I like that outfield. So Almora has 2. They said in the last 7 games he has 2 home runs. What they failed to mention are that those were both in 1 game, and that those are his whole home run total on the year. So it's a very skewed statistic to say he has 2. I mean, it's not untrue that he has 2 home runs in 7 games, but that was in 1 game, and they're all of his home runs for the whole year. Oh my! He swung after the ball was even there.
Second base.
Well, Jason Kipnis is up. I don't know how you swing after the ball is there. All right. Kipnis is up. Oof. The only silver lining of if Kipnis doesn't get on base here or hit a home run here is that at least the pitching spot won't come up and you can have Jarrell Cotton pitch another inning. Although Jarrell was giving up straight 2, Jarrell was giving up some pretty solid contact, so that's not necessarily a great thing either. He almost gave up a home run to left. He almost gave up a home run to right. Don't get me wrong, neither one of them were home runs. They were caught, but they still got hit pretty hard, or pretty far, I should say. All right, 1-2, Kipnis.
Nope.
2-2 to Kipnis. And if the pitcher spot does come up, I would assume Chris Bryant would be pinch hitting. Yeah, or possibly Caratini since he could switch hitter and go lefty, but I would assume Chris Bryant. Three-two count, payoff pitch. Ripped down the line, but foul. Whew. He made pretty good contact there, so that was just pretty hard. Oof. That one was hit a lot less hard than the previous one. 3-2 once again, payoff pitch. Sorry, they keep saying payoff pitch. Is this the payoff pitch? The payoff pitch. Nope. Payoff pitch. Payoff pitch, maybe. All right, he takes the walk. So the runners in first and second, 2 out, and the pitcher spot up. I'm assuming Chris Bryant will be the pinch hitter.
The pitcher, Jarrell Cotton.
I can't believe you will let Jarrell Cotton hit him. It blows my mind that they would let Jarrell Cotton hit him.
Your attention, please.
Chris, okay.
Pinch hitting for Chicago. Number 17, Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant. So one of the benefits of starting of sitting a star player is that you can pinch hit for him, or with them, I should say. Ooh, good pitch.
0-1 the count.
Slider inside, it just sneaks in. 0-1 to Bryant. And he hits it right at the fucking third baseman. Well, the Padres escape. And I don't know who's going to pitch. Probably Alec Mills or Rowan. Alec Mills would be my guess.
Your attention, please.
Ryan
Now
Tepper.
pitching for the Cubs.
Sure,
Number
that's fine.
52, Ryan Tepera.
Or Tepera, as he is now expressed.
Leading up for the Padres, the second baseman, Ryan Tepera.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike. I got the count 1 and 2.
Colin Jarrell is what we're doing.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? How's it going?
It's a tough life. I tell you.
Would you say it's a hard knock life?
I'm not hard all the time.
Yeah. when I hear that song, when I hear that song, I think of you because you also have a bunch of orphans in your basement that you don't feed enough.
That's right. Listen, that's what basements are for.
Yeah.
How do killers do it on the coast where they don't have basements?
That's why they have the woods.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And the ocean,
Yeah.
the greatest basement of them all.
Exactly.
That's God's basement.
The ocean is the world is 2/3 of the world's basement. I wonder. I would guess that actually, like, logistically, would that be a thing that was probably pretty easy to do? I would guess.
Whoa, that's down.
Does the tide take it out?
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably a good thing that I don't know exactly how that would work. But did you watch the Righteous Gemstones show?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
want to.
there's a funny part in there where. Can I give away a sort of joke that's not like too crazy, but it's kind of funny?
That's fine.
Is they like put something in they like try and sink they're trying to get rid of this van that they did some stuff that is bad, and so that I'm trying to tell you the joke without giving away the story. But so and it involves Goggins as the person trying to sink it. So they like put it in like a pond or like a bog kind of area because it's like in the I think it's like supposed to be in one of the Carolinas, and it sinks like 3/4 of the way, and they're like it's not. And the girl's like it didn't sink all the way. He's like, oh no, once tide comes in, that'll bring that down into the mud and it'll be gone. And then it like cuts to the morning and it's like the exact opposite where it's like completely like the tide goes the other way and it's completely like dry, like shown and visible.
Yeah.
It's really funny because he acts like he's like no, once the tide comes in it'll bring that in, that Mississippi mud will sink it on down and we'll never see that ever again. And then it's just the exact opposite.
That's good. That's a good joke.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's also funny that like because those guys are just like out. Is it South Carolina where they film all that? Where they film like Vice Principals and that. Because and maybe the Halloween movie, the newer Halloween movie too. Because essentially, Danny McBride like lives out there, and he's just trying to make so he's been trying to get like tax credits for stuff out there. So it's funny because he's literally been having to like go out into like the state legislature and be like, hey, I'd like to make movies out here, but like it'd be nice if you guys made it cheaper for us to do that, like so I can to make sure I can get.
Can't all be Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. And the other funny thing is apparently Bill Murray maybe just lives out there too. Like that's why when he's in Vice Principals, I don't know if that's why they filmed it out there, but I think maybe he was like, well, I live out here. If you guys film it out here, I'll be in it sometimes.
I thought he was a Chicago boy.
He is a Chicago boy. I mean, I would assume he has a house in Chicago or some sort. I'm assuming he owns property in Chicago. Let's see. I'm typing in Bill Murray residence, but I think he lives in because he loves to golf. And I would assume South Carolina. I'm pretty sure South Carolina just has a ton. Yeah, he lives in Charleston, South Carolina, where it says where he is a very active community member, whatever that means. But he, yeah, that's where it says he lives. I don't know. I would assume. He also is a part owner of the St. Paul Saints in St. Louis or in St. Paul, Minnesota. And a couple other teams that looks like he maybe owns, probably like minor league teams, like 2 or 3 teams. But yeah, I'm surprised he says he's very detached from the Hollywood scene. I thought he used to live there, but maybe he hasn't in a while.
Well, I suppose he's one of those few people who, when they get rich, they actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Murray, listen to this. Murray does not have an agent or manager, and reportedly only fields offers for scripts and roles using a personal telephone number with a voice mailbox that he checks infrequently. This practice has the downside of sometimes preventing him from taking parts in films such as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I'm assuming that he was the Bob Hoskins role, Monsters, Inc., The Squid and the Whale, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Little Miss Sunshine. When asked about this practice, however, Murray seemed content with his inaccessibility, stating, "It's not that hard. If you have a good script, and that's when you get involved. People say they can't find me. Well, if you can write a good script, that's a lot harder than finding someone. I don't worry about it. It's not my problem." So yeah, I think you're right, because I also heard that he had the quote of saying, "I don't leave my driveway for less than $100,000," which is pretty funny.
I wouldn't leave his driveway for less than
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say. Yeah, whatever, Gerald. You know, if he put a donut in a clay pigeon shooter and just like shot it.
Well, that's dollars to donuts.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
completely different situation there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Looking at this, at the stuff for the Snowpiercer TV show.
Oh,
looks
really?
Like it looks like it completely misses the point of like all the satire, and it's just
Yeah.
like straight up dark sci-fi. Like, yeah.
See, that I don't understand when they make shows based off of movies that are just supposed to be a metaphor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like how they were. I don't know if they still are going to, but like how they were gonna make the Parasite into an American television series, and I was just like, it did the thing it wanted to do. Like, I don't know. And also, usually, because we were talking about this last time, where it's like, I'm very often on board with American translations just because it gives the original a higher profile and will make people watch it who would have never known that it existed. Like with Old Boy, and also I was excited initially when they were remaking Old Boy, because I feel like Spike Lee's best movies are his when he adapts a work, and so I thought it was going to be really good, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, were you disappointed in that too?
I've only seen the original.
Okay. Maybe watch the remake just to be mad. And you could tell there was time, like the hammer scene. You can tell they kind of tried to do just because they knew they had to, but also like, because that scene's like, I'm not even an action movie guy, but that hammer sequence is amazing. Right? Can we agree on that? The one shot where it's just him fighting a bunch of people in a hallway, and then it becomes funny because then when it cuts to the next thing, it's like the elevator opens and it's like all of them falling unconscious out of the elevator. Like, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, but that movie is very good.
I thought it was going to be a horror story about a boy that was old somehow, like
Yes.
Benjamin Button.
Yes. I thought it was going to be Gary Oldman, his like a prequel. Yeah, Gary Oldman's origin when he was just old boy. You thought it was going to be about Gary Oldman's 20s.
Nope. Outside.
Old Gary Oldman.
I still never saw that The Darkest Hour. Was that the name of the movie where he's
Whoa,
what's his
that's
name?
upstairs.
The British Prime Minister. Why can't I think of his name?
Churchill?
Winston Churchill. Yeah, because he plays Winston Churchill in a movie, and he won an Oscar for Best Actor, I think. I don't know if he did pretend fat or really got kind of fat for it, but he looks like a. Was it Lithgow that played Churchill in The Crown?
He's done it at least once.
Yeah. Did you watch The Crown ever? The show?
Nope.
Nah. It's interesting. It's kind of fun-ish. They certainly did live a crazy
1-0.
I don't know. Or I mean, it's weird living in. It's weird that it's getting more and more because it started. The first couple seasons are like the 50s and like when like her becoming queen, and like the early stuff, and then the recent stuff is like starting to get like they have like new actors playing them. It's like Prince Charles now is like before was some hot guy or not Charles, I don't even know who it is, but now it's the guy from Game of Thrones, the what's his name, the fucking idiot Stark or Coley, the uncle, what's his name? The guy who says I could be king maybe, and everyone's like that's adorable. Sit down. Yeah, but he's in it as one of the leads now. He's okay. But, I don't know. That's the one good thing about all this, about things not getting made right now, is that maybe now for a while it'll get executives to stop thinking that just because someone was in Game of Thrones that they deserve to be leads in things. Except for like there are obviously a few exceptions to that, but man, oh man, did you see Dark Phoenix?
Nope.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I don't think it was any worse than Apocalypse, or it was similar to Did you see Apocalypse?
No.
No. I was I was really excited for Apocalypse, and it wasn't very good. Days of Future Past was good.
Yes, it is.
I enjoyed that one. Fuck! Another home run by Tommy Pham, I believe. Again. Tommy Pham has 2 home runs and a double today. At what point do you decide to not pitch to him? Is what I would say.
You can't get angry at him. He's Pham.
He is Pham. Maybe that's why everyone's just like, man, they just can't dissociate it. They're like, I want to strike him out, but also he's Pham. He does spell it with a PH. So it's a little different. It's the cooler Pham.
It's Pham's Flim Flam.
Flim Flam. I did that joke yesterday when we were talking about him. He flim flammed a home run the other day too. He's one of those. He has like some degenerative eye disease, and then he got and he'd been a baseball player, and you can imagine that when you have an eye disease, like it makes hitting a baseball moving 95 miles per hour harder. But so then he started wearing lenses, and I think he started like playing way better, and then he got like a surgery a couple years ago on it, because I think it might be like
all the players were saying nerd.
Yeah,
and
nerd.
So he changed his mind.
Yes, he didn't want to be a nerd.
Do any players wear those big goofy goggles, prescription goggles?
It's usually pitchers that will still, but it's very rare that do players have. Although players will wear shades a lot. That's always weird to me because sometimes players have like sunglasses, and as a hitter, that would be weird to me to have the whole tinge of things be different like that. But yeah, sometimes players still have glasses. Okay, that's caught at least. Good. Well, going into the 8th inning, Tommy Pham has 3 of the 5 Padres runs. Tommy Pham is beating the Cubs by himself, essentially. But they also have 2 runs on top of that. So we go to the top of the 8th with the Cubs coming up here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and Andres Munoz is coming in. He can throw 100 miles per hour, but he just got he's getting Tommy John surgery, which is pretty weird because they like take a tendon from either a cadaver or from your own leg and put it in your arm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Like because he's worn out the tendon that was already there.
Yes. Sort of. Okay. Or like it's a thing that used to be very it used to not happen very often. It used to, but now I would say maybe 30% of pitchers get to, or well, that might be high. It's happening more and more often, and I don't know if it's because they're doing it because I don't know if it's that pitchers are throwing harder and harder, and so it's like wearing their arms out, and they're not like taking enough breaks in between.
Inside, ball one.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a big supporter of Tommy Boy surgery.
Tommy Boy surgery? Is that where you learn how to sell things?
Yeah. Yes. And also you had to get fat and put on a coat.
Okay. But a coat that's much too small for you to wear regularly.
That man in a little coat.
So 20 in 2017, I'm guessing that number has only went up. 26% of major league pitchers in 2017 had undergone Tommy John surgery. A whopping 86.7% of all regular season games featured at least one pitcher who has had Tommy John surgery. So, and Tommy John surgery puts like you're out for a year when you get Tommy John surgery. You can't pitch for a year. Yeah, I'm looking at grass right now. So it started in the the first. Guess what the name of the first person who got it was?
Kathy Bates.
Yes, Kathy Bates. No, yeah, Tommy John. Yeah, I think 74. So like, it first started in the 70s, and it was a very, 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 very small amount. And then in the 80s, it starts to climb. The 90s gets a little higher, and then once 2000 comes around, it starts like borderline doubling every couple of years. It looks like essentially.
Yeah, well, it's if you can take, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, but it's weird because there are players, like, and maybe it's because their arms get worn out earlier. Because it used to be, and a lot of old men players will say this. Will be like that kids now when they're developing, they're like when we used to develop. Oh, a base hit up the middle, so there's runner first and second for the Cubs with nobody out. But a lot of old men who nowadays, when if you're really good, like kids will play like winter leagues and they'll like keep training in the off season. And but a lot of people that were pitchers that are old men now were like, the winters were for recovery. Like the winters, they would be like, I'd play basketball in the winter. Like I wasn't throwing baseballs. Like the winter was the time where you let your arm not do that thing that it was doing all summer.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that, especially guys like Nolan Ryan, one time, I was just reading all the stats about him because they were just crazy. He's like an anomaly of a pitcher. He threw 236 pitches in a game once, something like that. And pitched, it was like 12 innings, 236 pitches. The average amount of pitches a starter throws nowadays is probably 80 to 90 in a game. If you're letting a pitcher go past 100 pitches, they're probably pitching really well that game. Or else they've been like, some pitchers get the benefit of the doubt where if they've been around long enough or if they just have they've been known for having longevity. Oh, strike three. But most pitchers certainly don't average over. I think one or two pitchers averaged over 100 pitches a game. So think of that fact that Nolan Ryan pitched 236 pitches in one game. And then I think he pitched on like 3 or 4 days rest after that and pitched like, I don't know. There was a lot of crazy statistics on him. And the Cubs ground out into a double play to end the 8th. Looked like they had something going. But, or like for an example for how many strikeouts Nolan Ryan had, is the leader in strikeouts last year was Garrett Cole, okay, who just signed like the largest pitching contract in history with the Yankees in the offseason this year. He struck out like 326 hitters last season.
Number 50.
For him to get within like a couple hundred
Number 41.
of Nolan Ryan's all-time strikeouts in career, he would have to replicate that season that he just had, which was 326 strikeouts, and only one other person got over 300 last year, which was Justin Verlander, and those two were like 1 and 2 for the Cy Young, for who was going to get the Cy Young. And getting over, and I'll say this also, getting over 200 strikeouts in a season now is like an accolade that like probably less than a dozen pitchers do, or so, somewhere around there. Probably less than 20 pitchers. To get,
they call them the Dirty Dozen?
The Dirty Dozen. No, I mean, I'm sure that if they had exactly a dozen, perhaps. Those dirty Ks, that's what they call strikeouts, Ks. So anyway, 326
Special
strikeouts
Ks?
in a season. For him to even get a little bit under Nolan Ryan's career of strikeouts, he would have to replicate last year's season of strikeouts 17 times. He would need 17 seasons of that many strikeouts. But I don't know where Garrett Cole's career... No, I don't know if they're saying, like, just for that, or if they're saying Garrett Cole's career up until now, because he's still youngish, too. But, yeah. That's a record that... It's one of those records where the fact that they don't let pitchers pitch like how they used to, that there's no way that it will probably ever be matched. Because he would... he pitched like so many complete... Like, he was in an era where pitchers, when he started pitching, and even through his whole career, where when someone pitched, they would let them just finish that game often. Like, complete games don't happen very... Like, if you have... The leader of complete games in a season nowadays is, like, if you have more than 3 or 4 complete games, then you're probably going to lead the league in complete games for the year.
How many fits do they have to pitch?
Fits?
The second baseman.
Pitch a fit? You ever heard that term?
What, could you fit? No, I don't know. What's that term?
To pitch a fit.
Oh, pitch a fit. Yeah, okay. Yes. I got it now. I just haven't heard anyone say pitch a fit in probably... I mean, in real life, never, probably. Or just when I was maybe, like, 9 years old and, like a 60-year-old person at, like, an elementary school. And on TV. I'm sure they say it in the West Wing at some point. I've just been turning on the...
60-year-old at an elementary school. Is this like that Robin Williams movie?
1-1.
Yes.
Grew up too fast?
Peter Pan. Hook.
Jack?
Yes. Jack is such a weird movie for a lot of reasons. Yeah. J-Lo's the teacher in it. Robin Williams, Bill Cosby, Francis Ford Coppola directing. What a weird movie. And then it's like, if you were going to die, like if would you? I would have probably dropped out of high school, wouldn't you? Why would you finish high school? Like if you knew that you were going to die shortly after high school, why would you go to high school? Why?
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, you want to do just to
friendship.
Be around kids.
I guess you could say friendship. Yeah, friendship. Is that? Yeah. How many times have you tried that grift, Gerald, where you move to a school district and say you've got Jack disease, and that you're actually only 10 years old, so you should be let into that 3rd grade class as a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I do forget. That movie also has Diane Lane looking good still.
Do you like? I remember really liking what is it? The Strange Awakenings.
What's that?
With De Niro. About the people who come out of their comas after a really long time.
Oh, is it just called Awakenings? It might just be called Awakenings.
Awakenings, is that what it's called?
Let's see here. I've never seen that.
I remember liking it.
1990, Awakenings. Ooh, directed by Penny Marshall. All right, I'm on board here. It's based off of a memoir. Okay.
That's bullshit.
It's based on a real life thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, where they just like, he was just like, what if we give this stimulant to a bunch of coma patients? What'll happen?
Yeah.
And then they like came out of their comas or something. I don't know.
So I'm looking at the De Niro, Williams, Julie Kavner, Ruth Nelson, Janelle Van Miller, Max Van Sydow's in it. You know who Max Van Sydow is, right?
Sounds familiar.
The three-faced raven or whatever, the three-eyed raven.
Oh, okay.
The good one. The one that they used after the introduction. Because you know they used two different actors for that, right?
That's how they always do things.
Yeah. They like used a guy who just had a bunch of like really long hair and was skinny, and then they're like, we wanted this guy to talk a lot. Well, let's get a real known actor.
Like, at first you just use like a stuntman or someone who's on the crew.
Yeah.
If they don't have to talk at all.
He like says like two words, and it's like the end of the season, and then they come back, and we're just supposed to be like, okay. And Bradley Whitford's in this movie, and Vin Diesel is in this movie. What the hell? Interesting. Well, now I do need to watch it. I feel like maybe I've watched it. I don't like that, the thing I like the least about streaming is that I feel like we don't go out of our way to see movies that we want. Like, when video stores existed, you went specifically to go get a movie, and you'd get that movie. And then maybe a different one, you know? Now, you like search to see if a thing is on a streaming, and now if it's not, you just go, alright, and then you just go to whatever.
Netflix should totally have like a wish list, like the things you wish were on Netflix.
That would be cool, and then they'd say, oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people want... I'm sure they keep track of the search results.
Yeah.
You know, and they say, a lot of people are searching for this movie we don't have.
Yeah.
Let's just pick it up.
Yeah, that's, well, and they used to, I mean, if money was no option, I would still have my DVD thing for Netflix, because you can't, I don't know what it looks like nowadays, but you used to be able to get pretty much anything on DVD through them. Yeah, I'm sure Netflix has also, like, you remember Roxy, right?
The person?
Yes. Like Roxy, Roxy the girl from China.
Okay, yeah.
She's like a data scientist for Netflix now. Can you imagine? That must be a data scientist's dream, is to get Netflix's to have like their data samples. Like a good data sample is like anything over like 1,000 is decent. Can you imagine having access to like Netflix's data? I'm combing my hair because my hair is all junked up.
You're so vain. You probably think this stream is about you.
Yes, exactly. I mean, when there's barely anyone who's all watching. Oh, Craig Jarvie's there. Sorry. Oliver Sacks. Yeah, he was a renowned neurologist. Oliver Sacks wrote The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. That's funny. I've never read The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, but I like that. It's a funny title.
Does that mean, what does that mean? He shoved his head up her ass? Well,
yeah, yes. He shoved his head up her ass and wore her around town.
Stuck a feather in her and
called her macaroni. That was one funny thing about the Harley Quinn. I need to watch the last couple episodes. Is the macaroni character?
Yeah.
That was funny. I didn't, and it was like it was a good enough. Like I didn't see it coming. The twist, if you want to call it that. I just thought it was because that show is so silly. Where I was like, oh, that's just them being silly. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Did you watch new Rick and Morty last night?
No.
Okay. I haven't seen that. Did you watch the one from the week before?
Yes.
That was really. I liked that episode a lot.
With the face hugger.
Yeah, the
guys.
face. I love it when it's like, since we're asking questions, how come neither one of you have blinked in like 20 minutes, and also your mouths aren't moving when you talk? Oh man. Yeah, that was a good one. And it was very interesting how they skirted by a grandpa and his grandson making out by just having it be aliens on top of them.
Yep. A lot of people were checking off their list that night.
Yeah.
Please. Now,
I mean,
for the
I'm not even sure what that means by you. I'm not sure what implication you're making there. They although apparently people got mad about the 9/11 joke.
The second
People are dumb.
Yeah, and actually they did it pretty like. And the fact that they made the Saudis, I thought it was funny that they made the Saudis, like, that's what's funny to me is people get offended by the joke, but like, when he made the joke about the Saudis, was like, they're not mad about the Saudis, you know? I don't know. That's why whenever anyone's like, we're gotta get the people that got us there, and I was like, well, you know that the most people were Saudis, and they're like, yeah, but that's fine. Like, wait, what? Like, okay.
Yeah, people, like, there's an episode of Veep where they accidentally, like, drone strike a wedding.
Yeah.
But, like, in the Middle East, and they're, like, really scared, but then it turns out nobody in the U.S. cares about people, and they're just like, oh.
It's funny because Obama really did that.
Yep. I mean, if you're the president, you're probably going to call a lot of stuff that ends up getting people killed.
Oh, if you're a president, I fail to believe you can be a U.S. president without probably committing war crimes.
Yeah, it's just going to happen.
Yeah. Like, even, like I said, I feel like Jimmy Carter making those houses is like, I feel like he did one or two things that went against what he wanted to do.
Putting
so
up those walls blocks out the screens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're still making houses at 92, he did something that his conscience is weighing heavy on him. He's just like, how many houses do I got to build before it goes away? Before that,
before the lambs are silent.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Let's see here. But
Oh, did you watch all of Solar Opposites?
Yes. It got better. I feel like the first episode or two are mediocre, and it got better. Also, the wall, and I feel like the wall sub-story really makes it. Like, I really enjoyed that. I'm a big fan of the. I don't want to call it a play within a play, but kind of that. It's like sort of like that almost, where it's like in American Dad. I don't know if they're done with it yet. It might be done, but the shitting gold brick stories. Are you familiar with that?
I am not.
Oh, really? So there's like a serious. So are you familiar with Roger? Roger like shits gold. Oh no, Anthony Rizzo fell to the ground and the play clutching his knee. That can be bad. Oh boy, But anyway, so Roger shits like gold with like diamond or jewels like encrusted in it. Like that's what he shits. And so they do a thing where he shits it, and like whenever they switch to this thing, it goes into widescreen. Like the bars, like it goes into like letterbox.
Yeah, to make it like a movie.
Yes, to make it, and it becomes a straight drama, like serious drama where like essentially like it's always like someone like it's always one. It's basically becomes like a Lord of the Rings type thing where one or two people will find the thing, the poop that's gold with jewels. And they'll turn on each other and kill each other, and or it makes the person who has it become really powerful, but will eventually like ruin their lives. And that's the Cubs list. The Cubs lose. But I'm sure it's fun to have it naturally happen. But I'm sure if you want, like, on YouTube, you could find the whole. It's probably got to be 4 or 5 minutes of just those cut together, because it always starts from where the other one ended, or like it'll kind of make you try and fill out the blanks of what happened.
Yeah.
But so it's pretty funny, and I think they bookend it with Roger at some point, where he comes back into the fold with it at some point. But
sounds like a interesting subplot.
yeah, I'm big on American Dad. I'm as much as I don't care that much for Family Guy nowadays. I'm indifferent, I should say, almost. I really like American Dad a lot.
I had a realization the other day that, like, Family Guy, comparing it to The Simpsons, there's something about it, like, where the amount that I enjoy the best Family Guy episode and the worst Family Guy episode are not that different. So it's like, unlike The Simpsons, where I'm like, oh, it really gets unbearable past this point.
Yeah.
With Family Guy, it's just like I can keep watching it forever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So you're saying the floor and ceiling of Family Guy are similar to each other, whereas the floor and ceiling of Simpsons are way different.
Yes.
Okay. Fair. Yeah. So have you been seeing that bars, like certain, it's weird, the restaurant bars that decided to open are like exactly the places that you think would do it. Like downtown. Yeah. Like Joe's place was, like, their roof is open, and it's places that, like, if you sell food, you can get away with it, but it's like basically bars. I will say, if there's a spike here, I mean, there has to be a spike. I mean, just like automatically, right?
Yeah. From
like,
people getting sick.
Yeah, like there has to be a spike just when you do, like, at least, but it's how big will the spike be? But yeah, I'm kind of, and like my gym's, although I talked to my friend who's a pharmacist, where I was like, my gym's opening in a day or two, and I was like, if I go there when no one else is there, and and wipe down stuff, do you think that's okay? And he's like, yeah, probably, yeah, it should be fine. And I was like, okay. And also I use the Arc Trainer, and I very rarely have seen anyone else use the Arc Trainer machines that I use, so that's good, I guess.
So it's opening fully. I thought last I saw, gyms had to be appointment only.
Planet Fitness is opening in 2 days, I believe. I just got an email that said it's opening, but they are separating machines. Like it basically said there will be machines that aren't available. So I'm guessing they're going to, like, yellow tape off one or three, like one or two or three in every machines together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like warning tape type thing to make people's distance around 6 feet. I'll be really mad, like I said, if there's no Arc Trainers, because there's always a bunch of people on all the treadmills, and then the Arc Trainers are always at the front, and there's no one on them, and I always enjoy that. So I'll be mad if they get rid of those. But I do need to start doing cardio again. Don't get me wrong, I'm hesitant. And now the Cubs are 2.5 games back, by the way, in the Central, which that's not good. And then Anthony Rizzo is just on the DL, so we're gonna have to figure out. I'll figure out what to do there next time when I come back into it, and kind of give it a look over to start the next stream. I'm gonna keep talking to Gerald even after I save here. So Gerald, I'm gonna talk to you even once your usefulness has gone. Now that I'm going to
well, when the working day is done, Gerald just wants to have fun.
When the working day is done, oh, Gerald's just want to have fun. Well, goodbye, people watching the game. Gerald, not goodbye to you yet, because I'm going to keep talking to you. Bye, everybody.